I used to play football here for Tonbridge Baptist Church. Those are the changing rooms that we would get changed in before our home games, and then we would go out to the pitches there to play. I had a few games in the first team, and then I was promoted to the second team, where I was a striker also. And then they created a third team, which was managed by Kev Tolhurst, and I was in that team with the likes of Duncan Penfold and other such illustrious players as myself. I played for Tonbridge Baptist Church for a number of seasons as a striker, and I scored 3 goals as a striker. It was quite a stunning goal to match ratio, and whenever I scored I was so pleased. But you know, when you score the goal, it's not about you. You're not the most important person on that pitch in any sport. It's about the team if it's a team sport, and that is the foundation. You score the goal not primarily to make you look good, but so that the team play well and win. It's all about them. If it becomes about you, and you've seen this with somebody, maybe someone you work with and they're not quite on board with you as a team, or someone you play sport with and they're not quite on board with you as a team, they just completely distract from the foundation, the main reason why you are playing. What distracts us from Jesus? We've been thinking this Sunday about Jesus saying, I am the true vine, and that Jesus says to us, look, you're no longer my servants, you're friends, and I want you to abide, to dwell, to remain in me and in my love. What distracts us from Jesus? It might be good things, it might be traditions that we've had, but they're no longer relevant. I was chatting to a friend on a Spurgeon's College, that's my Bible college, catch-up on Zoom this week. And I said to him, are you still at that church? Were you still there for a long time? The one where they used to parade the Bible down the front before the service? He said, oh no, I'm not there anymore. He said, it's interesting, when I went for an interview, I said to them, you do a lot of things in a certain way. Are you willing to change on them? And they went, oh yeah, we're completely flexible. He said, but they weren't. And I'm not judging those things, because maybe it was helpful for them to parade a Bible down the front before the service to say that actually the Bible is really important to us and it connects us with God. But when that becomes a non-negotiable, when you say I refuse to not do that, well, is it foundational? Because if it's not, then maybe we should ditch it. Look over here, next to the changing rooms. It is a place that became very much like my career in football. It was a absolute rubbish career, in all truth. In fact, you couldn't call it a career. And here we have some council bins. What is it that you need to ditch from your remaining in Jesus? There's some bikes down there that probably were perfectly useful at one stage, but something's busted with them and they've been thrown away. You know, some of us, the big sticking point is what we call a quiet time. It's where you spend some time focused with God. And some of us do a quiet time just out of guilt. And we've done the same thing all the time. We've got our Everyday with Jesus Bible study notes that have become Every Now and Then with Jesus Bible study notes. And each time we look at the date, we think maybe I'll skip read 5 and I'll get through them and get back up to where I am, and then God will really love me. That's not remaining, abiding, dwelling in Jesus. Some of us watching today need to reappraise our quiet time, the way we connect with Jesus, because it's got stale and it's become boring. What works for you? How has God wired you? If you're an artistic person, what can you do artistically to connect you with God? If you're an intellectual person, what deep tome do you need to read that helps you dwell in Jesus? If life's really tough for you at the moment, what light thing do you need to do just to encourage you with Jesus? You can have a quiet time, dwell with Jesus, when you're swimming, when you're running, God forbid, when you're cycling, when you're driving, when you're at work, when you're sat down in your lounge with a coffee and a Bible and some Bible study notes. All of those and so many other ways are ways that we can connect with Jesus. The foundation is dwelling in Him, not how we do it, but dwelling in Him. And He wants us to dwell in Him 24/7, not just for one period of the day. So what can you do to remind you of Jesus and dwelling with Him? One thing I've got in my pocket is a dice. Is it die or dice? I'm not sure what the plural and the singular is. But I've got this dice, and we used these a couple of years ago on Easter Good Friday, saying I'm going to take a chance on Jesus and trust him. So whenever I go for my bank card, I touch the dice, and it reminds me, yeah, Jesus, I've taken a chance on you 35 years ago, and you've been true to your word and allowed me to dwell and remain in your love. I am the true vine, says Jesus, and we are the branches, and some pruning needs to be done. Maybe in the way you relate to Jesus, it needs a bit of pruning. Have the courage to do that. Friends, what do we need to chuck in the rubbish so that we can keep Jesus as our foundation? Stay safe.